Coming up, Moana's Journey of Water. Welcome to the SeeWDW Near and Far podcast, where we explore perspectives of the Walt Disney World Resort from 10 to 1,000 miles away. I'm Mike the Far in this equation.
And I'm John the Near.
All right, today we're going to do a short episode on John's experience at Moana's Journey of Water. John, you had an opportunity to go to a cast member preview at EPCOT for Moana's Journey of Water. How did that go? What did you think of that?
It went pretty well, and I have to say I was grateful that I got to go at all, because a lot of these things, it's all a matter of luck. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to see it again tomorrow night with my daughter's friend and her. We're friends with their family too, and two of them are cast members, and they can each bring like 3 people. And they said, well, why don't you come and we'll go to eat in the Italy pavilion after. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So I'm going to see it again tomorrow, actually. But anyway, I was lucky enough to see it last Sunday. And so I went in with the mindset of, I appreciate the fact that I am there at all. So it kind of made me, a little bit more on the optimistic side. But there you can see the entrance. They have the sign up, the entrance. And here you can kind of see this is the first thing you see as you walk in. And I didn't really notice it as much when I'm there, but you can kind of get a good spaceship Earth angle from there too. I may have to go back and get a picture from that angle somewhere where you can see spaceship Earth going. I have to say, it really does feel like Animal Kingdom. Like, I mean, if you just look at that, it's like, yeah, where's Animal Kingdom, But
oh my goodness, yeah, it does. It really does.
One of the things that I was saying, though, oh, good. One of the things that I was saying, though, is once they're finished with that middle part, like I know it does not fit into the EPCOT of our memory at all. But I've been telling people who say that Disney already completely got rid of the entire concept and idea of EPCOT and the future and everything else. This is world nature now. It's a place to meet Moana and, look at Animal Kingdom stuff. And again, I don't know what else is going to be in there, but theoretically, it's supposed to make sense when it's all done. I don't know if it actually will or not. I have to say, I don't think that it'll be anywhere near as fun, too, once the general public is let in. Like, this is a limited amount of people in at a time. And this part here is the part where the water is coming down, and you take your hand through it, and it makes sounds as you go through. Each water that you disconnect it from changes the sound of it. So yeah, there you can see it closer. It literally makes a different sound as it goes underneath. And they've got a bunch of them. And you can see there a hidden face. There's a lot of hidden faces all over in the rock work, which I like. And I have to say, too, from my opinion, Animal Kingdom has always been one of my favorite parks, So again, once you're deep in here, like in a lot of these parts, I don't even think about Moana because, I saw the movie, most of it, mostly one time. I'm like, so it's not like something that's at the top of my mind all the time. So, you're walking around. This is the stream area. You can see the sign. It says stream. And this is the part where you stand in front and you make your hands go up, and different parts do different things. You can see they do a little sign to explain streams, I guess. And there you can see Spaceship Earth again with, I don't know what those things are that hang off the post. I guess just to give it a feel of.
Those are sensors that are watching your movement and making the water.
That's why they're there. Mm-hmm. That's why they're there. Probably lighting too.
It could be, yeah.
At night, the lighting looks really good. So I saw a bunch of people put that up, and it did really good. So then we have the wetlands. This part was not really done. And here it says dry path to the left and normal wet path to the right. I did not get wet. Like, I guess you can see it's a little wet on the ground there. Nothing really happened when I went by there. So I will see tomorrow. I think this area wasn't quite ready yet. It probably is ready by now. Yeah, this is the natural springs area. That one wasn't quite ready. But again, like, look at that. You see, does that look like Animal Kingdom or what?
Yeah, it really does.
Looking at them like that's Animal Kingdom.
By the way, we have a comment. Hi, Treasure Woman. Welcome to the stream.
But like I said, Epcot was my favorite park, but I really do love Animal Kingdom. Although with the new announcements, they're working on that one too, because dinosaurs always been a special ride for my family, and that they're getting rid of. Although I heard Indiana Jones is great, so I don't know. But anyway, this is a look at the new Epcot. I wanted to show you the prettier parts are actually coming up. But I'm not allowed to play anything bigger than 1 or 2 gigabytes at a time. So let me find part 2. And I can tell you too, there are a lot of parts in here that actually were quite nice. Yeah, of course I don't see the I purposefully cut the video into smaller pieces so I could see the big video. But anyway, yeah,
Amazon's being a little.
Say the wetter area comes later. Yeah, they often are. And again, I don't know why I don't see the videos that I literally cut the video into pieces so that I could see it, so I could show you. But anyway, here's an idea of where it is. This is over by the Finding Nemo Pavilion, and the walkway where you can see the Spaceship Earth there at night and stuff. That right across from there, like, so Finding Nemo's to the left, and this is to the right. So
okay,
close to there. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not more prepared. I really did break this video apart to make it easier to use. Well, let's go with this one. Yeah. It is, you walk through a rainstorm, I guess. As you walk under, rain is coming down, and it stops for the most part before it hits you. But this is the area where it gets to be a little bit more Moana-ish. You can see, I think Tafiti is coming up. Yeah, this is the lake area. And you can tell, even with just cast members, it gets a little crowded. And again, it's going to be competition to get like at night when Spaceship Earth is lit up to get these angles. It's going to be quite the competition, I'm sure, to get in there.
So basically, it looks like, you have a waterfall here with, so they're calling this lake. So they have these mapped out, like these are all named different sections and based on what the interactivity or the interactive elements are doing, right? And, so that, do you have a recollection of how many parts there are that are named here? Or I mean, you only went through there once, so it was like a whirlwind of you going through and trying to get footage and stuff. But I was just curious if you had any idea how many sections there are.
No, I mean, I've got a complete walkthrough, so I could probably count them, but I did not as of now. My guess is, I don't know, 7, 8, something like that.
It is a pretty big area, though, right?
It is. It has its own bathroom area, too. Like right around here, there's restrooms to the left.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the place that everyone's been putting the nighttime videos up with Spaceship Earth doing the light show and all this stuff lit up at night too, which looks really good. I actually wish I was seeing it later tomorrow night because it'll probably be in the day again, but but yeah. And this is the picture spot. You can see people are already there balancing their children on the rocks to get good pictures, and I guess that is a pretty cool picture spot. Like, it always takes a minute to get in there. But yeah, I don't know if you call it a statue, but whatever it is, the big Tafiti thing, very pretty in real life too. I just hope that it holds up to the sun, because like a lot of the fake plants and stuff remind me of the Pandora ones, and I guess they do pretty well, but Florida sun is rough.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That's a good point. I mean, if these things are made of petroleum products, plastics and stuff, that's going to break down in that Florida sun over time. They're going to have to keep going back through and painting things and stuff, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure they did their research because, again, they've been using stuff like this in Animal Kingdom for many years. But yeah, the river part too, there really wasn't a lot to it. It's a lot of jumping fountains going down the river. So, I mean, you can look at the river. And it's funny, the end of it seems to have the most to do, at least when I went through it. They're probably, I would imagine they're adding some more. I can tell you my feet were wet.
Yeah.
And you'll see why coming up. And I didn't really get wet, but my shoes definitely did. So that I can see is a little bit of problem when it gets cold out in Florida. And I mean, it can be cold enough to wear a coat down here at some points. I don't know how, like, this is the area. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people here when it gets cold. And you can see here, this is where you stand in front of it and the sensors can sense, like when everybody puts their arms up at once, the water just blast out. So, and it is fun. Like, you can legitimately see people laughing and smiling and playing with this, but it does work best when you do it together though. Like when everybody did it at once, wait till it settles and everybody agree and like 1, 2, 3 and everybody up, and it just explodes. And it doesn't quite get you, but I mean, your feet get wet and stuff. And but it's a very, like I said, it's an interactive spot and seems to be one of the most popular ones so far. And then it doesn't look like I have much more after that. But I know, like I said, I broke this video down because I can't. It won't let me play the longer video, although it did before we connected. But because I was going to say the last part around the corner is they have jumping fountains. And here, oh no, that's not the jumping. That's the same one. Yeah, I guess here they lower, and then they have jumping fountains, and they have a play area. But of course, I can't quite see them. Yeah, this gives you an idea of where it is too. You can see the monorail drive from inside there. Yeah, and I was going to say these are jumping fountains. So as you jump on pads on the floor, water blasts up, and they have a basic. I think this is a good way to say it. They have jumping fountains along here that are low enough that you can put your hands up. You could, lean in front of it, get hit by it, and, they're going over. So this is another spot that you get wet. The jumping fountains are here, or when you jump on the ground, the fountains are there. The jumping fountains are here. And there's also kind of a kids' play area. And I think that'll be one of the most popular spots, the kids' play area. And in the kids' play area, they have, let me see. They have this rock wall that has those things. And they kind of randomly squirt you with water too as you go around. And yeah, they just have water coming up out of the ground like any play area. And then they have one called Sky, and that just is making clouds basically. And again, it's more of a picture spot. They make a lot of clouds. You can stand in front and get your picture taken. And I think that is about it. That leads you to the exit. I just wish I had the video of the last part. I don't seem to have it anywhere. Oop. But yeah, here's a video of the montage, I guess, that I made. But this will give you a quick overview again of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, honestly, I was going to say, honestly, am I excited to go back tomorrow? I wouldn't say I am. I think it's going to be popular for kids and people who visit for the first time. But I think it's going to wear off pretty quick. And as it gets cold and as there is a lot of water things going on, and if you ever have been to the Imagination Pavilion, there's a large percentage of time that those fountains are turned off or need major adjustments because water, like anything else, there's a lot of moving parts going along with that. So they're already having problems with some of the stuff here, but I definitely think it's nice. I enjoy it. I had fun walking through it. So again, is it better than the construction that's been there for 6 years or 5 years? Yeah, I think so. But I don't know. I guess you'll have to see it in person maybe next week or whenever you get down here.
I guess my only reservation is the fact that it's almost community driven. So you're going to have a lot of people waiting and queuing up in line, waiting for their turn to interact with the elements and stuff. So it's going to be lines of people snaking in and out of this thing, right? I mean, that's what it looks like to me. And that was my concern from the start, was that this is just a cast member preview and you're already getting people kind of backed up waiting for their turn. Can you imagine whenever there's like hordes of people walking through this thing trying to get their turn at stuff? Can you, I mean, is it all like, one attraction after another, or can you just walk to whatever section you want to walk to?
No, you can walk anywhere you want.
Okay. I mean, that might help space out things if they're going to queue it up the right way and actually handle crowds, a certain way to handle a certain capacity, but it doesn't look like it's going to have a large throughput of capacity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you too that it's very beautiful to look at. It's fun. With little kids, they're gonna love this because they love getting wet, especially when they really shouldn't. It's like, oh, don't get wet. You have your good shoes on. It's like, man, they really want to get in there and get wet. So I think kids are gonna love it. And starting right from the beginning, where you can run your hand under that water. I mean, I don't know about you. I only have one child, and when she was little, she loved playing with water. There's nothing more she likes than playing with water. So this will give you the opportunity. I think kids will love that the adults will be with them for the part where you put your hand up and the water splashes, and playing at the jumping fountains. That's already popular over at the Imagination Pavilion. So that should continue. I just think and again, yeah, that's one of the biggest parts there. Imagine a little kid standing there and her family's there too, and they all throw their hands up and the water thing goes. And for little kids, especially at EPCOT, I think it's a good addition. It doesn't fit EPCOT the way we think of it, but the way we think of it, it's gone. So there is no experimental prototype city of tomorrow. It's just stuff. So.
Well, that particular area, is there only one section of that area or one section of that area that, everyone lines up and does that thing with the water, where you put your hands up? Because that's my concern. If you have a kid standing there an hour waiting to do that, they're not going to. So, I mean, I guess it depends on how they queue people up and how many people they let in and, how the line flows and the crowd flows there, because I mean, again, it's a cast member preview right now. There's not a ton of people in there, but in a couple months, there's going to be tons of people coming in and out of there.
And cast members do tend to be a little more nice, especially to each other. They're not going to be obnoxious and push ahead or whatever. Because they deal with that every day with the general public. But yeah, when the general public goes in, it's probably going to be difficult. But again, I'm an adult, so I don't really. If I go in, it'll be probably just to take a couple pictures or something. And again, I get to go in tomorrow again, so. The amount of footage I already have on this thing, all I need is some night stuff, and I'm probably good. I can't really think too far ahead, meaning I don't know what I'll be thinking, but I'm thinking for somebody who goes to the parks a lot like me, is this something I would do frequently? And I'm like, I can't. I honestly probably not. So this is more of a guest that vacation are going to be like, wow, what's this area? And kids are going to be like, I want to go play in the water. It's like, and again, I think if I was on vacation and I had young kids with me, this is definitely going to be a highlight for them. And especially if they don't have to wait an hour to just play in water, which should happen after a little while. Initially, it might be a little bit busy, but I have a feeling that it's not going to require any line, after people see it initially. On the first day it opens, it's going to be people like me, the wannabe Disney social media people, are going to all just jam up and go, oh, look, I got it. That's what seems to happen anymore. There's so many people like me that just make it unbearable for like the first of anything. So luckily I won't need to be there for that because I already got footage, but normally one of the two trying to, although I don't really care about being first, but I don't like to be last either.
So then the question I would ask, the big question that a lot of people are wondering, is this more or less just a high-end splash pad, or is it truly just like an attraction that, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. What would you call it? Is it just a high-end splash pad, or is it just like a great, like picture of Imagineering's imagination and their technology, I guess.
Let's read the sign. It says, touch or play with magical water as you follow a short exploration trail that encourages us to protect the world's water cycle. I don't know. That's what it is.
I guess that actually, they've described it very well there. I think. I mean, it's an interactive exhibit, right? Of an interactive, I don't know. Do you want to call it conservation exhibit? Using IP, I guess.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. I don't see a lot of. To me, I'm not like, wow, Moana. I don't even think about Moana through most of it. So I don't know. To me, I'm thinking this is a nice path at the animal kingdom, And again, I love the animal kingdom, so I'm all right with it. But this one's going to be difficult though too. Even the cast member preview, I could, I had to kind of walk quickly at it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I did is because I didn't feel like editing the video later while I'm standing there waiting. But
yeah.
So and there is stuff missing in the middle. There's going to be something else here in the middle that was not quite working yet. Like after the stream part, there's something to the right where there's a wet and dry path, and hopefully it's working tomorrow. So there'll be a little bit more to it than in this video. And if anyone's wondering, I have a full walkthrough on YouTube that I put up last week. Basically, it's like the video you see here, just complete. It goes start to finish. So, and yeah, the wetlands is the part that wasn't working yet. And I don't know exactly. At least I don't think so. Like I said, the path looks wet, but I saw no water doing anything, so I don't know. And tomorrow I am going with some of the people that will be in our group are very small children. So
so you'll
bring a change of clothes. I think one's like 1 or 2, and the other's like 3 or 4. They are gonna just jump right into the water, so they're gonna love it.
So I guess that's really cool. You're gonna be able to kind of see what it's going to be like, right, with a kid and their interaction in this whole interactive exhibit, I guess I would say. Did you get any kind of message of conservation like they're trying to push here? Like, is there anything in the attraction that made you feel like, oh, this is the message here, the conservation of water?
Well, you could get that, I guess, but you'd have to read the signs.
Okay.
Although each area has a sign that tells you, why that ecosystem for water is important. So,
I
and
see.
again,
Okay.
you gotta read it though. They're not just telling you.
Yeah. That's
So you'd have to go and read them.
Yeah, I mean, so they do put that there as far as the educational aspect. So that's kind of Epcot, though, John. That part of it, there is an education element there with the, with the conservation message, and they even put Maui down there on that sign as hook into the IP, right? So,
Yep. Yeah, I can say that's an example of the signs, and they do talk
yeah.
a little bit about water conservation and fixing dripping faucets and running toilets will save water. So
Yeah, and this one here is just talking about how the land is shaped by water and things like that, right? So that's pretty cool.
yeah, it teaches you a little bit if you choose to learn. Um, you know, I took pictures so that we could look at it later. But
Yeah, I mean, and most really young kids, they're not going to watch or read that stuff, I mean, let's face it. But some of the older kids might, you're 9 or 10, some of your early readers.
I have a feeling these won't be too difficult to get in front of to see. So
Yeah, that's true. It's like the kids are going to be messing with the water stuff, and that's probably going to be the only clear place you can go to take a picture of them if you want to for the family book, right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of competition to get the picture of the size. So.
Well, I mean, at least they have the education aspect there, though. That is Epcot, right? So
yeah, that is. Other people had said that too, and I heard that this was an idea that was sitting at Imagineering for years, and they never wanted to go with it, and then somebody added Moana, and the executive said, "What did you say?" Moana approved, because those executives love Moana. They don't really, and the reason they love Moana is they look at streaming numbers and minutes and whatever, and they're like, Moana is our most popular movie. It's watched more than anything. Approved, approved, approved. Like that's why they approve it with add Moana in, and that's why you see her everywhere at the parks. And every park, they're just adding her in all over. And luckily Disney knows when to hold back and not overdo things. I think.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess the only thing that I would say from the outside looking in, from this side of the screen and not having visited it yet, and I think in 2 weeks I'll probably get a chance to visit it maybe. But, I really think that part of the park needed just a walkthrough, just like you could enter here and exit there,
Well, a lot of people had said that too. They said, "Can I walk to Connections Cafe now?" And I was like, "No, it's you go in and out at the same place."
Yeah, that's disappointing.
I have to walk around it.
And I understand they don't want people they don't want to overcrowd it with people just walking through, right? But for me, if I'm there just kind of by myself or with my wife, I'm probably not going to do a lot of the interactive stuff. I'm probably just going to look at it, because I don't want to fight crowds to get into the interactive stuff. I really, it's not a big deal to me. But I want to look at it, I want to see it. I want to see people having fun, doing that kind of stuff and all that. But more importantly, I want to shortcut the other part of the park, and I think they failed at that. And that's unfortunate because, I sort of think that maybe this would have been better as kind of like a passive sort of walkthrough thing. It's a beautiful section of the park,
I do learn why you can't do that though, because it needs to be shut down if lightning is around.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know why exactly. I mean, at Journey to Imagination, I'm sure they just turn it off if lightning's around, but you don't have to close the area. But maybe because there's a lot of sitting water, but I don't know. I'm sure they have a reason for it. And but yeah, during lightning, the rain is okay, but lightning, everyone has to get out of that area, which is why you can't just walk through it. So that really does stink, because it would be a great, like, I would probably see it often if it was just walking across the park. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go over to Guardians of the Galaxy. They called my virtual queue. I'll walk right through the Journey of Water to get there. It's like, but that's not,
you can't do it.
It's not part of it.
I think that's I think they missed the mark on that part, though. Really, you could do something like that, right? Even though you just shut it down during, a storm or something. Unfortunately, you can't walk through it, to get to the other section of the park. But I mean, with that said, it's something. It's better than having construction walls up and having a big hole in the middle of the park. So I will say that is encouraging. I mean, they're starting to bring those walls down. They're putting stuff there. It fits with the theming for World Nature, like you said.
Yeah. And I have to say, the bottom line is I walked through it. I found myself smiling a lot. It's bright, colorful.
Great.
Happy. Yeah. Like I had a smile walking through it. Again, I probably won't, compete with children to stick my hands in the water once it's open to the public. But for social media, I got some stuff. So I was going to say, here you can see the water as you. I guess when you're doing it, you can tell each station the water does something different. But again, that's not really my thing to do, but anyway, overall I liked it. It's better than construction walls, and I think it is a happy, nice addition to what I hope makes sense in the future when everything's done. And World Nature, I once they complete everything, hopefully it fits.
Yeah, and they're going to have a meet and greet there, it looks like, back in there somewhere.
Somewhere nearby, they said. Not inside the Journey of Water, because it's going to be near it. So I don't know where they're putting that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I would say it looks beautiful from your pictures. It really does. I mean, it looks great. It is, I guess the thing about Epcot is there's not a ton of green space, right? It's mostly just concrete and, yeah, and it's kind of like a nice respite from those areas and stuff. I actually like the way it looks. I think it looks great. From that standpoint, again, like you said, it's not how we view Epcot, but it sort of sits with the theming, right? Fits with the theming, but
with the new theming. So I guess I can't be too judgmental on that it doesn't fit because again, I don't even know what Epcot is right now. It's just
I don't either.
So
yeah,
anything fits if it's just stuff, so that's fine. But anyway, this will be one of our shortest.
Yeah. So, putting a bow on it, that's it. It's not really just a splash pad, but it is kind of interactive exhibits and, a showcase of technology and in the middle of a park that we don't really know what it's about anymore. But I mean, with that said, it looks great and kids will love it. So, all right, John, where can they find you online?
You can find me at SeeWDW on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and See.uo on Instagram and Facebook.
All right. And you can find me at The Giant Rat, THEE Giant Rat on all the socials. And that should do it for this one. We will see you on the next one.